Warmest greetings to all my incredible subscribers and new viewers alike. Welcome to another exciting video, where we'll be shedding light on Jean-Pascal van Ypersele. Jean-Pascal van Ypersele de Strihou, born 1957, is a Belgian academic climatologist. He is a professor of environmental sciences at the UCLouvain, Belgium. As a previous vice chair of the IPCC, Van Ypersele, as he is called by his peers, is one of the forerunners of climate change mitigation through strong decrease of fossil fuel consumption. As we enter this new phase, let's navigate the complexities of quote and discover its practical applications. The debate has shifted from a scientific one 40 years ago to a very political one today, involving economic interests, geopolitics, different priorities given to environment or development, and a clash between short-term and long-term visions. 2015. Brace yourself for an in-depth analysis as we navigate through early life and its far-reaching implications. Van Ypersele was born in Brussels in 1957. Astronomy was his youth passion. Aged 10, he built his first telescopes with gutter scrap and lenses that he got from opticians in Brussels. 12 years old, he was an assiduous reader of sky and telescope. In 1971 he became secretary of the Amateur Cercle Astronomique de Bruxelles Club, which put him into contact with professional astronomists. On 30 June 1973 he was part of an international team of astronomists that traveled to Kenya to observe the longest solar eclipse of the 20th century. Welcome to the next segment, where we explore studies and its significance in our journey. Master in Physics at the UCLouvain, Internship on Climate and Desertification in Nairobi at the United Nations Environment Programme UNEP Master Thesis on the Effect of CO on the Climate. Brace yourself for a deep dive into ancillary activities as a student as we explore its impact and relevance in our evolving narrative. As a university student, Van Ypersele had an important social involvement member of Inter-Environment. He was influenced by the concepts of the 1972 United Nations Conference on the Human Environment in Stockholm, co-founder of an Amnesty International branch in Louvain, La Nouve, member of Mouvement des Jeunes pour la Paix, activist against apartheid in South Africa, and right extremism, organized a meeting between UCLouvain students and Claude Chyssen, European Commissioner for Development Cooperation. As we move forward, let's uncover the untold stories and fascinating intricacies of academic career. Van Ypersele carried out a research in climatology. At the initiative of Professor Andrew Berger, the Institut's Astronomie et de Physique Georges Lemaitre of the UCLouvain had started to study the impacts of changes in concentration of greenhouse gases on the evolution of the Earth's climate. In and outside Europe, research on the effects of human activities on the climate produced its first results. Van Ypersele received a Ph.D. in physics from UCLouvain in 1986 with highest honors, with his dissertation on his work done at the United States National Center for Atmospheric Research (NCAR) on the effect of global warming on Antarctic sea ice. The choice for the National Center for Atmospheric Research was related to its large available technological means for atmospheric science research. At the NCAR he worked with climatologist Stephen Schneider. Promoters of his were Professors Andrew Berger, UCLouvain, and Albert Semner, National Center for Atmospheric Research and Naval Postgraduate School in the United States, one of the developers of the modular ocean model. At the UCLouvain, Van Ypersele became Professor of Climatology and Environmental Sciences. He further specialized in the numerical simulation of climate change in an interdisciplinary perspective, and has worked at global and regional scales. He is particularly interested in the effect of human activities on climate, the impact of climate variability and change on ecosystems and human activities, and what can be done about it, adaptation and mitigation. Van Ypersele authored papers on subjects on a plethora of issues, including the modeling of sea ice, paleoclimatis, the climate of the 20th and 21st century, regional climate change in Europe, Greenland, and Africa, and the ethical issues associated with responsibility for climate change. Now, let's delve into the intricacies of teaching and explore its various aspects. Jean-Pascal van Ypersele teaches courses at the UCLouvain climatology, climate modeling, mathematical geography, environmental science. Get ready for a thought-provoking discussion as we delve into pioneering work and its impact on our understanding. In 1979, 10 years before the establishment of the IPCC, he took part, as a 22-year-old student, in the first World Climate Conference in Geneva, organized by the World Meteorological Organization (WMO) and the United Nations. In November 1995, he participated in his first IPCC meeting, the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, that investigates climate change on Earth, in Madrid, as sole Belgian representative. He contributed to a short sentence that entered in the annals of the organization. The balance of evidence suggests that there is a discernible human influence on global climate. This statement is crucial, as it mentions clearly for the first time that a worrying climate evolution is ongoing. It is demonstrated and no longer a theoretical projection of the future. Moving ahead, let's uncover the hidden gems within climate summits and discover their significance. He developed his qualities as negotiator at about all conferences of the parties COP of the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change for over 20 years. At such climate summits, the Belgian delegation strongly benefited from the scientific advice and dedication of Prof. van Ypersele. Jean-Pascal van Ypersele was one of the lead authors of the third assessment report of the IPCC in 2001. He was elected as a member of the IPCC Bureau in 2002. He has several times filled in as a review editor of the assessment reports and special reports of the IPCC. He was member of the core writing team for the synthesis report of the fifth assessment report in 2014. He was one of IPCC vice chairs during the fifth cycle of evaluation, from September 2008 to October 2015. He was nominated by the Belgian government as candidate to the IPCC chair position in 2015, but not elected. He remains an active member of IPCC and contributes strongly to the development and dissemination of its scientific message. He established the Walloon platform for the IPCC, with the assistance of the Walloon government in Belgium, to facilitate contacts between the IPCC, the scientific world, and politicians. He was appointed by UNESCO to be part of a group of experts tasked with drafting a declaration on ethical principles in relation to climate change approved by the UNESCO Assembly in November 2017. The UN Secretary-General appointed him in 2016 as a member of a 15-member group of scientists tasked with the preparation of the first quadrennial Global Sustainable Development Report. In 2017, he was appointed as a member of the High-Level Advisory Group for the COP presidency by the Fiji Prime Minister. He endeavors to demonstrate the operation of climate confusers and of the fossil fuels lobby. In the next phase, we'll be immersing ourselves in the realm of diplomacy and persuasion and exploring its real-world applications. He participates in numerous events related to climate change personally or virtually, thanks to his lectures and networks all over the world. One day he is in Lima, Geneva or Marrakech. The next day he may talk in Brussels for an auditorium filled with students or trade unionists. 2 days later he addresses senior staff of a multinational bank, European bishops or a group of Freemasons. Let's now zoom in on candidacy as IPCC chair in 2015 and uncover the hidden gems that lie within. In 2014, Van Ypersele was nominated by the Belgian government as candidate to take over IPCC chair from Rajendra Pachauri in 2015. For 20 months, he traveled around the world to present an elaborate program to decision-makers, scientists, industrialists, and journalists. His aim was to increase the influence of the IPCC. The elections of IPCC Bureau members, chair, vice chairs, and working group and TFI co-chairs and vice chairs were held during the 42nd IPCC session from 5 to 8 October 2015 in Dubrovnik. Despite the assistance and official support of the Belgian government, his campaign pledged to maintain the scientific independence of the IPCC. and his stressing of the importance of inclusiveness and communication, Jean-Pascal van Ypersele was not elected. He lost in the final round against Hossam Lee with 56 votes to 78. As his mandate as a vice president had run out, he was no longer a member of the IPCC Bureau. He continued participating in the IPCC plenary sessions as a representative of the Belgian delegation. On to April 2019, he announced that he would again apply for the IPCC presidency. Now, let's redirect our focus towards the thesis and discover its significance in our narrative. A numerical study of the response of the Southern Ocean and its sea ice to a co-induced atmospheric warming, National Center for Atmospheric Research and Université UCLouvain, Boulder, USA and Louvain-la-Neuve, 1986. As we embark on the next leg of our journey, let's unpack the layers of books and examine its core elements. Inhetu van de Klimatstorm, IPO, Berkham, 2018 Meeting Report of the IPCC Expert Meeting on Communication. Geneva, World Meteorological Organization, IPCC, 2016. Unvoyaged turbulences climaticales, Bruxelles, de Boek Saprière, 2015. 128-page IPCC 2014, Climate Change 2014, Synthesis Report. Contribution of Working Groups II and III to the Fifth Assessment Report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. IPCC, Geneva, Switzerland, 151. Van Ypersele, J.P. and Huyen, M. eds. Actis du Congrès Interdisciplinaire du Développement Durable, Quelle Transition pour nos Associates. 6 volumes, Service Public de Wallonie, 2013. Climate Change and the Belgian Development Cooperation Policy, Challenges and Opportunities, FPS Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Development Cooperation and Université Catholique de Louvain, Brussels, 2008. Letrout, H. J.P. van Ypersele, South. Haligatet J.C. Houcade ed. Science du changement climatique esquisse et controversies, IDDRI, Paris, 2004. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of articles in scientific journals as we examine its impact and relevance. 2014. Comparison of 1-moment and 2-moment bulk microphysics for high-resolution climate simulations of intense precipitation, ATMOS. Research 2010. The impact of the unilateral EU commitment on the stability of international climate agreements, Climate Policy 2009. Assessing dangerous climate change through an update of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change IPCC Reasons for Concern, PRIC. Natal. Academy C. United States of America 2009. PIMES Scenario Analysis Towards 2030 for Belgium, European Review of Energy Markets, Energy Policy Studies 2008. Internal Variability in a Regional Climate Model over West Africa, Clim. Din. 2007. The 1979-2005 Greenland ice sheet melt extent from passive microwave data using an improved version of the melt retrieval XPGR algorithm, JOFIS. Rays. Let. 2006. Injustice Fundamental Dechangements Climaticals, Alternatives Sub 2006. The 1988-2003 Greenland ice sheet melt extent using passive microwave satellite data and a regional climate model, CLIM. DIN. 2002. Unnatural climate forcings able to counteract the projected anthropogenic global warming. CLIM. Change 2001. Managing Climate Risk and Science 2000. Nous imprantons la terre aux enfants Strihou et de demain, Lumen Vita 1999. Potential role of solar variability as an agent for climate change, CLIM. Change 1999. Volcanic and solar impacts on climate since 1700, CLIM. DIN. 1992. Simulation of the last glacial cycle by a coupled, sectorially averaged climate ice sheet model. 2. Response to insolation and covariations, J. JOFIS. Rays, Atmos, 1991. Simulation of the last glacial cycle by a coupled, sectorially averaged climate ice sheet model. The Climate Model, J. Jofes. Rays, Atmos, 1986. Climate and Desertification Editorial, in Van Ypersele J.P. and M. Verstretted's Climate and Desertification Special Issue, Climatic Change. As we venture forward, let's examine book chapters in detail and gain a deeper appreciation for its significance. 2012. Comment le GIEC il les incertitudes scientifiques. 2008. The Fundamental Injustice of Climate Change 2006. The Relationships Between Population and Environment 2004. A few comment are fable un texte du GIEC 2002. The Kyoto Protocol, an Economic and Game Theoretic Interpretation. Now, let's shift our perspective and explore involvement with the society from a different angle. Since 1993, he is a member of the Belgian Federal Council for Sustainable Development, and since 1998 he chairs its Working Group on Energy and Climate. From July to December 2001, he was Scientific Advisor for Climate Affairs with the Belgian Presidency of the Council of the European Union. In 2005, he was appointed as member of the Energy 2030 Commission advising the Belgian government on energetic transition. From 2008 to 2011, he was the chair of the Scientific Committee of the world's largest exhibition SOS Planet on climate change in the Liege-Guillemans railway station. In 2011, he co-organized the first Stephen Schneider Symposium Boulder, Colorado, US. In 2013, he co-chaired the first interdisciplinary symposium on sustainable development in Namur, Belgium, and co-chaired its second edition in 2015 in Louvain-la-Neuve, Belgium. He personally briefed several heads of state, many ministers and SOs about climate issues, and has been or is member of several international scientific advisory or editorial boards: EU Research Programme, Dutch Climate Research Programme, to France, UJPI Climate TAB, Royal Meteorological Institute Belgium, the leading journal Climatic Change, established by Stephen Schneider. In 2019, he became member of a think tank of climate experts that was established in synergy with the climate strikes of the Belgian Youth for Climate, in which secondary school students left classes to demonstrate in favor of measures against climate change. Throughout 2019, he appeared as an assiduous supporter of the young activists. In 2019, he was appointed as an expert with the EU Horizon 2020 Mission Board for Adaptation to Climate Change, including societal transformation. Get ready to immerse yourself in the world of awards and honors as we examine its impact and relevance. 2006, Energy and Environment Award of the International Polar Foundation. 2007, Nobel Peace Prize, awarded to Al Gore and the IPCC. Van Ypersele was Vice President of its Working Group to 2008, Frankrijk Chair at the Université Libre de Bruxelles. 2009, Member of the Royal Academy of Belgium. 2010, Honorary Member of the Tub of Rome EU Chapter. 2011, Frankrijk Chair at the UCLouvain and Brussels. 2011, Commander of the 2014 Grand Officer in the Order of the Crown Belgium. 2018, Leadership Prize by the Harvard Club of Belgium. Moving ahead, let's uncover the hidden gems within renown and discover their significance. Van Ypersele has delivered hundreds of lectures and has given more than 1,000 interviews in international media. He has almost 14,000 followers on Twitter, which puts him among the 50 top world climate scientists on Twitter. He has been featured in a ministry examination for the secondary 5 level in Quebec Province, Canada. In a 2018 Associated Press interview, Van Ypersele urged that countries should do everything possible to work towards the report's goal of reining in carbon emissions by 2030, at which point scientists say damage to the climate will be irreversible unless urgent action has been taken. He added, "Nobody, even the so-called superpowers, can negotiate with the laws of physics." Brace yourselves for the next chapter, where we'll be dissecting controversy. Van Ypersele's work is sometimes challenged by climate confusers. There was a petition signed by 8 Belgian academics and opinion makers opposing his candidacy as IPCC chair in 2015. Most known of these opponents is his colleague from UCLouvain, professor who produced a large scientific output in the field of organic chemistry, but not climatology. Don't forget to check out my other videos for more valuable content.